All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another NBA video, an NBA offseason video. And as I like to always say, there always is something going on in the NBA. There's always something going on. Um, and it never fails to entertain. At this point in the season, there's some small stuff going on. There's like, is Ben Simmons, is Russell Westbrook gonna get signed? And Michael Porter Jr. saying crazy stuff. Newly minted net Michael Porter Jr. saying crazy stuff on like live streams and like interviews and all that stuff. And it's usually fun. It's usually lighthearted. People over in China doing their their shoe commitments. For Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, all that stuff. It's usually fun. Um, After a pretty decent offseason for the Clippers, reshuffling the deck to make another run at the postseason with some familiar faces, with some new faces, there has been some rumors, some accusations, some alleged things that have come out from sports investigative journalist Pablo Torre from Pablo Torre Finds Out. I'll leave his stuff down below so you can check it out if you want. I'm just going to lightly touch on this stuff. This isn't going to be a particularly long video, but I just want to talk about it because it is sort of interesting and fun. Not fun. I don't even know. It's such a out of left field thing that you would never think would happen, but you always in the back of your mind, if you're a sports fan, know these things happen. Um, Pablo Torre from Pablo Torre Finds Out has alleged, the rumor has it, and he's done his own research, and I'm not questioning his investigative journalism. I'm just saying this to cover my own ass. It's alleged, it's rumors, it's hearsay. I have no confirmation. Nobody has any confirmation on this. And everybody involved is going to do their best to deny it or assert their claims about what has happened. But Pablo has alleged that Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement deal for a no show job with fraudulent tree planting company funded by $50 million from the Clippers owner Steve Ballmer, according to documents obtained by Pablo Torre. It is to circumvent the salary cap, an inside source said. Now, when Kawhi Leonard signed his deal originally with the Clippers, or even this next one, this past one, because I believed he re-upped, um, apparently to sweeten the pot, um, Steve Ballmer, the owner, a middle right, I guess, of your screen right now, um, perhaps maybe did a little salary cap circumvention and gave Kawhi more money under the table. Now, do I think this stuff happens all the time? Yes. Do I think this is the first one we're finding out about in this era of basketball? Yes. Is this bad? Is this like detrimental? Is the league actually going to look into this? Yes. Could the Clippers perhaps be screwed? Yes. Um, Continuing here. Um, about more details. This is from John Kralis, Carlias, yeah, something like that. Um, Kawhi Leonard's aspiration deal totaled in 48 million to 28 million in endorsements plus 20 million in stock. The stock never paid out, and he is still owed part of the 28 million after the company went bankrupt. Uh, Continuing here, Kawhi Leonard never received any actual money in the $28 million stock deal, as shares never went liquid, as he also still owns a portion of the original $28 million. His LLC KL2, Kawhi Leonard number 2, his jersey number, Aspire LLC, is listed as among the creditors in the bankruptcy filing. Yeah, yeah, it's there's a lot of breadcrumbs. There's a lot of things. Somebody allegedly didn't cover their ass, and it's not looking good. Continuing here, this is all on September 3rd, by the way. This is literally a couple days ago. You guys are getting this video on Saturday or Sunday, I believe. I'm pre-recording this, but there's also a report that the NBA is in panic mode over Kawhi Leonard's $28 million aspiration deal. So if you're following along here, tree planting company, funded by Steve Ballmer, goes bankrupt. Kawhi Leonard never got the money, but he still owed money because he had money in the company slash the stock. And this was a ploy, allegedly, by the Steve Ballmer and the team, amongst other. There were other people in this deal as well that were in this tree planting company. Um, Other notable people like Doc Rivers and a bunch of other people. Um, and they did it. Steve Ballmer and the Clippers did it so they could pay Kawhi Leonard more without actually paying him on the salary, the Clippers salary, and that isn't good. That's very bad. Um, the last team that did this, and I can't remember who it was, but the last team that did this, they got so screwed over. They got fined. They got draft picks taken away. And that was in the David Stern era. That was a long time ago. That was, what would that have been, 20 plus years ago? And Adam Silver, the current commissioner, is a very different commissioner from David Stern. David Stern ran a hard ship, he ran a tight ship. And when somebody did something wrong, he shipped him out. And I'm not saying Adam Silver hasn't done that. He's had to put his foot down a couple of times, but Steve Ballmer's a billionaire. I'm not saying that excludes him from the rules or the law, for that matter. But when you wanna, it's different in the Adam Silver era where you're just punishing millionaires, right? And you can really put your foot down and say, "Hey, you did wrong. We're taking these things away from you." Whatever. When you're dealing with a billionaire, it's a little different. And when you're dealing with a billionaire, you can sort of, they play by different rules. There are different things going on, and I think this is about to get very interesting. I think there will be an investigation. Shams Charania of ESPN, who isn't the most reliable source when it comes to these things because Shams Charania is really backing the agents and the NBA. He's a mouthpiece for the NBA and the agents. So take this with a grain of salt. Shams Charania says there has to be hard evidence. Um, there was there has to be hard evidence that there were never improper payments or improper funds given on behalf of the Clippers and Steve Ballmer. It's just not it's just not circumstantial as Pablo presented. Ballmer and Leonard have quietly contended that these are isolated situations. Um, I don't know. Again, I'm just reporting this. I'm just saying this as something that's going on. I really, I don't, I don't know. I really don't know. Is it just coincidental? Perhaps, maybe. Um, I'm gonna read this since we're here. The Clippers statement. They released a statement, obviously, because when these things happen, you kind of need to release a statement. They said, and I quote, there was nothing unusual or untoward about team sponsors doing endorsement deals with players on the same team. As we have already pointed out today, this is true. Where the situation has not become more does become more unusual is that Kawhi Leonard seemingly not being required to do anything, at least publicly, as a part of the endorsement deal. Pablo Torre also said that he scoured Kawhi Leonard's multiple social media profiles for any post, any mention of anything of Kawhi Leonard actually doing something for this company, for this organization, um, at all. Um, as a part of the endorsement deal, but aspiration also turned out to be fake anyways. So there's nothing particularly unusual about that to begin with. The biggest emphasis from the Clippers is that Steve nor the team had any oversight of Kawhi Leonard's agreement with aspirations. So, however or unusual, unusual the agreement was, the Clippers are adamant they had zero involvement. That that's what the NBA will presumably be looking into their investigation. Um, I'm going to read this part of this article here. Um, This is a different part of the article. After a long campaign of marketing manipulation, which defrauded not just Steve Ballmer but numerous other investors and sports teams, Aspiration filed for bankruptcy. Its co-founder, Joseph Slangberg, uh, recently pleaded guilty to a $240 million fraud. Neither Steve nor the Clippers had any knowledge of improper activity by Aspiration or its co-founder until the government initiated its investigation. Aspiration was the team sponsor for the 2021-2022 season and the 2022-2023 season before defrauding its contract. The Clippers take the NBA compliance extremely seriously, full respect to the league's rules, and welcome its investigation related to Aspiration. The Clippers will also continue to cooperate with law enforcement in its investigation of Aspiration's blatantly fraudulent activity. So these next couple months are going to be very interesting. Might take the whole season for this to be proven false or not false. Steve Ballmer also did an interview less than 24 hours ago with Ramona Shelburne of ESPN saying, um, I don't know why they did what they did. I don't know how different it is. Any speculation would be crazy. There's there these were guys who look to commit fraud. How would I be able to look at how would I be able to dash look, they cornered me at the stage. They've cornered me at this stage. I have no ability to predict why they might have done anything they did, let alone the specific contact with Kawhi. So Steve Ballmer's trying to cover his own butt. Kawhi Leonard hasn't said anything. The Clippers have said a bunch of stuff. They're going to let the NBA investigate this. Um, do I think there's going to be actually any real action? No. I think this gets swept under the rug. I think, however, what the NBA is going to do to cover their own butt is they're going to ask everybody, every team, to open up their books, to open up everything that has gone on the last couple free agencies, players that have taken discounts, Jalen Brunson amongst numerous other names, look into their stuff, whether that's legal or not legal. I don't know, but I think the NBA is going to look into a lot of these deals, these team-friendly deals, quote unquote, that players have signed recently, and see if there's any other untoward or malicious intent behind this team friendly deal that they're getting money under the table in another way. Um, I don't know. I just wanted to report on this and have it on the channel because it is so very interesting and it's something that came out of left field that was so crazy. And yeah. So yeah, if you want to look into this yourself, I'll leave some links down in the comments and everything like that. And you can look into it yourself. Look into it for yourself. It's very interesting. I'll leave Pablo Torres' whole video down below. Um, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll keep you guys updated on this. You might not get an update for a while, so this is it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.